In 1973, two classroom teachers were concerned that their students were out of touch with nature, so they founded the Learning Tree Farm, a place for outdoor, hands-on learning.
Kids learn a lot when they're just playing.
That's the philosophy of Jean Ryan and Sally Keys. As school teachers back in the 70s, they realized they wanted to give city kids a chance to connect with the outdoors. Jean and Sally realized even then, way before video games and the internet, that many kids were no longer developing any interest or ability in the natural world. To fill that gap, they founded the Learning Tree Farm.
I think there's much more of a need for this type of place now than there was back in the 70s. We saw that kids were out of touch with the outdoors, but they still were allowed to go outside and play without a lot of supervision. And we're finding now that the kids are more programmed and their life is scheduled for them rather than them scheduling time themselves. Kids and adults are afraid of the outdoors. And they're also afraid of the amount of space out here. We let the kids run in these 10-acre fields. We just tell the kids to take off, reassure the parents and the teachers that they'll be fine because they're going to get tired before they get lost. We have found that kids' imaginations are kind of going away because of electronics. Kids are not using their imaginations the way they should be used. And so that's another thing they can do out here. They can go out to the woods and we have these huge rocks. And some kids were pretending that they were on the Mayflower coming over, landing at Plymouth Rock. And so many imaginative things that kids aren't able to do anymore, they can do out here at the farm.
The idea to actually start their own farm came to Sally and Jean after taking kids out on field trips to local parks.
It was just kind of foreign to them to get out into a big space where there are a lot of trees. There were some basic concepts I realized kids were unfamiliar with. One of the kids found a tree that was struck by lightning, and she had no idea what that meant. These were things that they had read about in the classroom, but they hadn't really had any firsthand knowledge of it. I also realized that some of the kids that were discovering these things outdoors were kids who were not learning in the classroom.
They weren't good at reading, maybe they weren't good at math, they weren't good at a lot of things in the classroom, but when we took the kids into the outdoors, they found new ways to succeed and they became stars, at exciting things like being the first one to observe a bird's nest or coming to us with a funny little green bug or just getting excited about being in the outdoors. And because they were successful in these things in the outdoors, they came back to the classroom with a renewed sense of self-esteem and a renewed willingness to try to do the classroom thing.
Sally and Jean wanted to give more kids a chance to learn outside the classroom. But though there were public parks, there wasn't anything like the green, open spaces they remembered from their childhoods.
So we looked at a lot of farms, but none of them met our specifications. After about 2 years of looking, we found a little tiny ad in the paper for this particular farm. It was advertised as having rolling green fields, beautiful woods, all those types of things, but it failed to mention that it was also a rundown trash heap. But the buildings were falling down, and there was a lot of trash that needed to be cleaned up. But it did have a beautiful woods on it, and that was the selling point. So in April of 1973, we showed it to the group of investors that were interested in helping us, and so they agreed to buy it.
That first year, about 200 school kids visited the Learning Tree Farm. Last year, the number was around 6,000. Some of the farm's programs are very loose, while others are more structured and even come with curriculums that fit right into the state-mandated Ohio academic standards.
We developed a program called Farm Fun and Fitness. And what that is, it's a structured program, but it's all very active games. And we came up with things that kids used to do on the farm. You see farm kids that are pretty coordinated. They have a lot of stamina, and so how did they get that way? Well, they get that way by doing farm chores, carrying bales of hay, watering animals, that type of thing. So we set up a circuit. Kids can run through the barn, jump on the hay bales, swing on a rope, run out across the pasture, over the stile, jump over some more hay bales, and then we have relay races where they carry buckets of water and they push a wheelbarrow full of hay. So just different kinds of activities like that farm kids used to do.
Programs like Farm, Fun, and Fitness help kids grow in coordination, teamwork, and stamina. But the farm also offers other learning opportunities.
Now, do we eat donkey burgers? No.
Learning Tree Farm is a real farm. We determined that it was not ever going to be just a show-off place. The animals are grown for food for the most part, and we do have crops. Our best crop is the hay crop because all of our animals eat the hay. For many, many, many of the students who come here, it's their very first time to see farm animals. Our animals are gentle, and you can come close to them and take a look at them, notice their eyes, notice their feet, notice their ears, and make friends with them, and they will respond well. And oh, the kids love it. They are so thrilled to tell us, this piggy really likes me, or this cow is my friend. I love this cow. Just really fun things that are brand new eye-openers for kids.
Everything about the Learning Tree Farm is geared to opening kids' eyes to the wonders of the outdoors and teaching them they can be successful there.